Welcome to the dark side of greatness. Welcome to the shadows where kings are made and monsters are born. You've entered a space where fear isn't a weakness, it's a weapon. Where pain isn't something to avoid, it's the raw material from which power is forged. You feel that chill running down your spine. That's the recognition of something primal. That's your true self standing up for the first time. You see, this isn't for the faint-hearted. This is for the ones who've been silent for too long. For the ones who've been doubted, pushed aside, laughed at. And now they're starting to whisper your name with fear. Because you keep winning. You didn't beg for it. You bled for it. You didn't wait for your turn. You took it. And now it's starting to scare them. Before we go deeper, I want you to take a second and do something powerful. Subscribe if you're ready to claim what they said you'd never touch. Hit that like button if you've ever felt underestimated, ignored, or discarded, and yet you're still here, still grinding, still rising. Because this right here, this isn't entertainment. This is fuel. This is soul fire. This is a war cry for the ones they forgot, the ones they buried under doubt, the ones who looked like nothing, but turned into everything. Every click, every share, every word is a shout in the void that says, you messed with the wrong one. This message isn't just for you, it's for the ones who are coming after you too. So light it up. Let's go all the way in. They didn't expect you to last. You weren't part of the blueprint. You weren't supposed to be the one walking away with the prize. And yet, here you are. You took their no and turned it into fuel. You took their laughter and made it your soundtrack. While they were busy calculating your limits, you were busy breaking them. You didn't just play the game. You changed it. You warped it. You forced it to bend under your will. That's what terrifies them. Because deep down, they know they're not built like you. They know they'd crack under the pressure that forged you, that they'd drown in the silence you've had to endure. They know your wins aren't accidents, they're omens. Every victory is a prophecy being fulfilled. And now they're watching, stunned, panicked, and scrambling to understand how you're still standing. They whisper behind your back now. They talk in circles, trying to make sense of it. They call it luck. They call it a phase. They call it coincidence. Because the truth is too heavy for them to hold. The truth is, you earned every single step forward, and they can't stomach that reality. Because if you're real, if your rise is real, then everything they believed about what was possible gets shattered. That's why they fear you. Not because of what you've done, but because of what you might do next. You've become a walking reminder of what's possible when pain doesn't kill you, but transforms you. They see the storm in your eyes now. They feel it. They smell it. And they know you're not done yet. You've changed the room just by entering it. You've disrupted their comfort just by breathing. People like you were never supposed to be this loud, this confident, this undeniable. And that's why they flinch when you speak. That's why they shrink when you show up, because you've become a mirror. And when they look at you, they don't just see your wins. They see everything they ran from. They see the dreams they gave up on, the risks they were too scared to take. They see your fire and realize their flame died a long time ago. You didn't just beat the odds, you rewrote the equation. And in doing so, you turned their certainty into chaos. They're scared of how far you'll go. They're scared because they've seen this before, in stories, in legends, in warnings. The quiet one, the underestimated one, the one who took every hit and still got up. That's you. You're the myth made real. The nightmare they prayed would never wake up. And now you're moving through this world with purpose, and they can't keep up. They won't keep up. You're not one of them. You never were. You were built in the dark. You were raised by rejection. You were fed by failure. And now you're devouring everything that once tried to destroy you. And while they question your success, you're not even looking at them. You're too focused, too locked in. You're building legacies. You're turning moments into monuments. You don't need applause. You don't need validation. Because when you've been through hell and still come out swinging, the only thing that matters is impact. And you're making it every day. You're moving different. You're thinking different. And that's what drives them insane. You've cracked the code, and they know it. Every time you rise, it's a warning shot. Every step you take forward sends ripples into their comfort zones. You didn't come this far to blend in. You didn't climb this high just to be silent. You've tasted power, and it didn't corrupt you. It clarified you. And that's the final nail in their coffin. Because you're not just strong, you're focused. You're not just winning, you're awakening. The fire in you isn't just hot, it's holy. You didn't just survive, you evolved. And now your very presence threatens their carefully constructed illusions. They used to laugh when you spoke of dreams. Now, they stay silent, watching you make them real. They used to mock your ambition. Now they study your moves, hoping to imitate what they can't replicate. You've become the blueprint. You've become the force. And they know deep down that no matter what they try, they can't stop you. Because you weren't made to stop. You weren't made to fit. You were made to shift, to shatter, to shock. You were made to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. You were made to bring light into the lies. And you're doing it loudly, unapologetically. There's something about you now, something untouchable. They can't figure it out. It's not in your looks, not in your voice. It's in your energy, in your silence, in the way you walk, in the way you don't flinch anymore. You've been through too much to fear anyone who hasn't walked your path. You've buried too many doubts to entertain theirs. You're not just chasing destiny. You've become it. You're not just winning. You're changing the definition of victory. And in doing so, you've become everything they told you to fear. This world wasn't built for the likes of you, and yet, here you are, taking up space they swore wasn't yours, holding ground they said you'd never touch, speaking truths they hoped you'd never find, and now they're scared, not because of what you've done, but because you've only just begun. This isn't your peak, it's your launch. You've barely scratched the surface. The real storm hasn't even started yet, and they know it. That's why they flinch when you speak. That's why they watch you with wide eyes and nervous hearts. Because every time you rise, you remind them you were never meant to lose. So go ahead, keep winning, keep rising. Keep walking into rooms with that quiet fire. Don't apologize for it. Don't shrink for them. Let them feel your presence. Let them fear your momentum. Because you're not just here to participate. You're here to dominate. You're not just part of the story. You are the story. And they can't stand it. Because they thought this game was rigged. They thought the system would hold. But then you came along and you rewrote all the rules. You're not lucky. You're relentless. You're not blessed by chance. You're chosen by fire. You didn't stumble into greatness. You built it, one scar at a time. And if they can't handle that, let them drown in their fear. Let them tremble at your name. Because you're the storm. You're the silence before it. And the aftermath after. You're the reason they double-check the locks. The reason they rehearse excuses. The reason they can't sleep. You keep winning, and it's starting to scare them. Good. Let it. Let your very existence be the warning they ignored. Let your power be the prophecy fulfilled. Because while they sit in circles, confused, afraid, trying to figure out how you keep doing it, you're already on to the next victory. One after another, like clockwork, like destiny, like a reckoning. So remember this: every time they whisper your name, every time they doubt your worth, every time they hope you fall, smile. Because the more you win, the more their world cracks, and eventually it'll break. And you'll still be standing, still rising, because you were never lucky, you were inevitable. Good. You're still here. That tells me something important. You're not just listening, you're awakening, and that's dangerous. Not for you, for them. Because now you see it clearly. You see the fear in their eyes when you walk in with your head held high. You see the way they shift, how they pause, how they suddenly have nothing to say. You've become the storm they always talked about but never believed was real. And now it's too late for them. They should have helped when you were quiet, should have supported you when you were unknown, because now that you've learned how to move in silence and strike loud, they can't touch you, they can't reach you, they can't stop you. You're untouchable, you're too far gone. And the truth is, they never really hated you. They hated the reminder that someone like you, someone who came from the dirt, from the dark, from the nothing, could rise this far. That you could keep winning when you were supposed to lose. That you could smile through betrayal, rise through chaos, and stand tall through every storm they swore would break you. You didn't just rise. You rose while carrying weights they couldn't even lift. You want to know why your winds shake them so deeply? Because they watched you fall and assumed that was your ending. But every time you fell, you got back up stronger, sharper, colder. You bled and kept going. You cried and kept working. You lost everything and didn't stop. And now they don't understand what you've become. You've become inevitable. And inevitable is terrifying. They built fences to contain you. You built wings to rise above them. They spoke poison. You drank it and spit out fire. This wasn't luck. This was transformation. They called it arrogance when you started believing in yourself. They called it selfish when you stopped sacrificing your peace for their comfort. They called it obsession when you worked in silence, grinding alone in rooms no one else wanted to enter. But now they call it a problem, because your results speak louder than their excuses, because your name echoes in places their efforts never reached. You don't have to raise your voice. Your presence is loud enough. They're scared now, scared that you know who you are, scared that you've learned to trust yourself, scared that you don't look to them for approval anymore, because when you stop asking for permission, you become unstoppable. When you stop waiting for someone to choose you, you start winning in ways they can't explain. And every win, every single one, is a mirror in front of their failure. They can't stand it, because deep down, they had the same chances, the same time, the same days. But they wasted theirs doubting, and you spent yours becoming. This is what it looks like when someone stops making excuses and starts owning their power. It's uncomfortable to watch, especially when they thought you'd always stay beneath them. But now, even their silence sounds like panic. You've started to enjoy the solitude, the grind, the way no one believed, until they had no choice. Because you didn't win to be seen, you won to evolve. And now, it's not about revenge, it's about revelation. The real victory isn't just that you're ahead, It's that you broke through everything they said you couldn't. And now they sit there, stunned, watching a person they thought they buried walk past them like they never existed. That fear they feel, it's real, because they know you've got more drive, more clarity, more ambition, and less mercy. You didn't come this far to stop. You didn't fight this long to turn back. You've got scars that would end most people, and yet here you are, not just alive, but unforgivingly alive. You became your own savior, your own validation, your own weapon. And there's nothing more terrifying than a person who no longer needs permission to win, so they can keep watching, keep whispering, keep doubting. It won't matter, because you'll keep winning, and the more you win, the more their world shakes, their illusions crack, their lies crumble. You see, when you win once, they say it's luck. When you win twice, they say you cheated. But when you keep winning, that's when they start to panic, because then they realize you were never a fluke. You were always real, and nothing scares a fake more than something real. So stay cold, stay focused, stay relentless. Let the world adjust to your frequency now. Let the doubters burn in the fire you lit for yourself. You didn't come this far to be small. You didn't survive what you survived to be quiet. You're not here to blend in. You're here to take over. Let your success be the blade. Let your silence be the cut. Let your work be the scream they never forget. And if they're scared now, good, let them be, because this is just the beginning. You're not even close to done. You keep winning. And that terrifies them. You still want more? Good, because winners like you don't stop when it gets intense. You lean into it. You demand more from the fire, more from the pain, more from yourself. And that's exactly why they're terrified. They thought you had limits. They thought you'd plateau, run out of fuel, burn out like the rest of them did. They didn't realize you became the flame. They didn't realize you don't burn out. You burn through walls, through doubt, through every boundary they thought would hold you in. They're starting to whisper now. Not the kind of whispers that mock. No. This is the kind of whisper that fear creates. The kind people use when they don't want the storm to hear them. Because your name has become thunder. Your presence, lightning. Your success, it's not just visible. It's loud. And the louder it gets, the more they shrink. Because deep down, they know they could have done what you did. They could have worked harder, could have believed more, could have stopped talking and started moving. But they didn't. And now you're proof that they chose comfort over conquest. Now, your consistency is their curse. You know the worst part for them? It's not just that you win. It's that you won without them. You didn't need their praise. Didn't need their help. Didn't need their approval. You became powerful in isolation. You evolved in silence. And that kind of growth, that kind of glow, it scares people who rely on being seen to feel alive. Because you don't chase the spotlight, you become it. And when you walk in, you don't ask for attention. You command it. You didn't just raise the bar, you shattered it. You redefined what's possible. And they're left choking on the dust of everything you left behind. But let them talk. Let them spin their stories. Let them cling to the idea that you're just lucky. Because we both know, luck didn't stay with you this long. Discipline did. Obsession did. Purpose did. Luck might open a door, but only monsters built from the dark walk through it, again and again. You've become something else entirely. You're not chasing dreams anymore. You're fulfilling prophecies. You're not just building empires. You're rewriting reality. And every time you win, the foundation beneath their excuses shakes a little more. Because you weren't supposed to survive. You weren't supposed to keep going. You weren't supposed to become this. But here you are, undeniable, unrelenting, unstoppable. And what's worse for them, they can't look away. They watch your moves like rituals. They study your grind like scripture. Because they're not just scared of what you are. They're scared of what you're about to be next. You've become a future they can't predict, a fire they can't contain, a force they can't calculate. And when someone like you keeps winning, it means the old rules are gone, the old order is collapsing, the safe systems are failing. You've become proof that no one is stuck, that no background, no pain, no past has the power to decide your ceiling. And that kind of proof? It's terrifying, because it means every excuse they ever made just died the moment you walked in. You keep winning, and every win punches holes in their illusion. Every step forward you take makes it harder for them to justify standing still. You've made movement mandatory. You've made mediocrity painful, because now, when they look at you, they see what's possible, and they hate you for it. They don't hate the success, they hate the reminder that they gave up, that they settled, that they could have, but didn't. You know why you're feared? Because you didn't fall, because you didn't break, because when life tried to bury you, you bloomed in the goddamn dirt. And what comes out of the dirt isn't weak, isn't soft. It's feral, it's pure, it's real. You didn't rise with glitter, you rose with grit, with teeth clenched, with knuckles bloody, with a grin that said, "Try me again." You didn't come from privilege, you came from pain. You didn't inherit a throne, you built one from bones. And now, you sit on it, not as a king or queen, but as a conqueror, crowned in scars, armored in losses, fueled by a rage they'll never understand. So don't apologize for winning. Don't downplay your hunger. Don't dim your light to make others feel comfortable. They had their chance. They had their moment. They chose safety. You chose war, and you're winning it. Every single time they thought, this will break them, you turned it into a building block. Every moment they hoped you'd fall, you rose higher. You built an empire from every betrayal. You forged purpose from every loss. And now they're running out of explanations, because there's only so many times they can call it luck before the truth starts screaming louder than their lies. So let them fear you. Let them stay up at night wondering what you'll do next. Let them stare as you pass by, not with envy, but with shame, because they knew someone like you once, and they thought you'd never matter. Now you matter more than any of them combined. You keep winning, and it's not even about the trophies anymore. It's about the transformation. It's about becoming the person they prayed you'd never become. It's about proving that no amount of silence, betrayal, isolation, or hate could stop you. You became everything they tried to suppress, and more. So keep going, louder, faster, harder. Let your wins become legends. Let your journey become the curse of their comfort. Let your existence continue to haunt the minds of everyone who ever doubted you. You're not a chapter. You're the plot twist. You're not a name. You're a reckoning. And your story? It's just beginning. You keep winning, and it's starting to scare them. Good. Let it. They tried to write your ending, but you picked up the pen and turned it into a weapon. Every win, Every rise, every moment you refuse to break has carved your name into the walls of destiny itself. You're not just succeeding, you're becoming the standard, the storm, the symbol of what happens when pain meets purpose. Let them tremble, let them whisper, let them fear, because you're not done, not slowing, not folding. You keep winning, and now it's no longer about proving them wrong. It's about proving you were always right to believe in the fire inside. Let that burn forever. You thought it was impossible, didn't you? You thought they had everything. The control, the influence, the power. You thought they would always be the ones who dictated the moves, who set the terms, who held the strings of fate in their hands. But look at you now. Look at where you are. The table is turned. The board is yours. They are staring at a game they can't play. Their moves have been neutralized, and you stand above them. You stand like a titan in a field of shattered pieces, staring down at those who once ruled, but now have nothing. You walked in unnoticed by all the eyes that thought they saw everything. You watched quietly. You observed every weakness, every crack in the armor of those who controlled the game. You waited patiently, knowing that your time would come, and when it did, you moved swiftly. You struck when the moment was right, and now, here you are. You took over the board, and now, they can't make a move. Do you feel it? The weight of what you've accomplished, the satisfaction in knowing that no matter how hard they try, no matter how many tricks they attempt, they are powerless. It's all in your hands now. Every piece, every move, every choice, they are yours to control. They thought they could outsmart you, but they couldn't see the depth of your resolve. They couldn't see the precision in your silence. They underestimated you, and that was their downfall. They thought they had the advantage. They thought they could play you like they played everyone else. But what they didn't realize is that you were never part of their game. You were always the one watching from the shadows, waiting for your time to strike. You understood the rules, yes, but you also understood the loopholes. You saw the things they couldn't see because you had the patience they didn't. You knew that the key to victory wasn't rushing to make a move. It was knowing when to wait. And when the time came, you struck with the precision of a blade, cutting through the pretense and leaving nothing but raw, undeniable truth. You have arrived, and they can do nothing but watch. It's a feeling unlike any other, isn't it? The thrill of knowing that you're no longer the underdog. The thrill of having them helpless in front of you. They thought they could intimidate you, threaten you, crush you beneath their weight. But what they didn't realize is that you were never a mere pawn in this game. You were always meant to be a king. You were always meant to rise above. And now, you have. Now, they are the ones scrambling, the ones trying to understand what went wrong, the ones trying to figure out how to respond. But they can't. They've been outsmarted by you. The ones who once looked down on you, dismissed you, ignored you, now they tremble in the face of your power. They cannot even comprehend the depth of the hole they've dug themselves into. You took over the board. Now, they are paralyzed by their inability to make the next move. They are stuck. They are lost. And the best part? They will never be able to undo what you've done. There's something almost poetic about it, isn't there? How quickly the tides change, how quickly the weak can become the strong. They believed that their position was secure. They believed they had all the power because they held the pieces that mattered. But what they failed to see, what they failed to recognize, is that power is not always about the pieces you control. It's about the mind that moves them. And your mind is sharp. Your mind is unyielding. They thought they could manipulate you. They thought they could control your every move, every decision. They believed that because they had the resources, the influence, the authority, they could break you down. But in truth, they didn't realize that all they had was their own delusion of control. They didn't realize that while they were busy trying to dominate the game, you were silently mastering it. And now, as you stand on top of everything, there's no turning back. You have reached a point of no return. You've gained the throne, and those who once stood above you now look up, helpless. They are no longer the ones in charge. You are, and every single move they make from this point on will be nothing but futile attempts to regain what they've lost. It's beautiful, isn't it? The desperation in their eyes, the hopelessness in their hearts as they realize that they've been outplayed at their own game. You've done something that few people can do. You've taken what was once theirs and made it yours. You've shattered their illusions, their false sense of superiority. You've broken them, not with brute force, but with strategy, with intelligence, with precision. They couldn't see you coming. They couldn't even recognize the danger you posed. And now, it's too late. Now, you're in control. Now, they have no choice but to watch as you pull the strings. So, what's next? What do you do now? That the board is yours and they can't make a move? Do you bask in the glory of your victory? Do you savor the moment, relishing in the fact that you've risen to the top? Or do you keep pushing forward, knowing that the real game has just begun? Because here's the truth, they won't stop. They will keep coming. They will keep trying. They will keep fighting for control. But every time they make a move, you'll be ready. Every time they attempt to rise again, you'll crush them. You will never let them back in. They've lost, and they will continue to lose. This is the price of underestimating someone like you. This is the cost of thinking you can control everything, of thinking you can push everyone down and stay on top forever. They thought they had it all figured out, but they were blind to the fact that there is always someone who's willing to wait, to play the long game, to wait for their moment to strike. You were that someone. You are that someone. Now, the game is yours to command. You've shown them what happens when you take the time to understand the rules, to learn every move, to anticipate every challenge. You've shown them what happens when you take the board from beneath their feet and turn it into your weapon. You've proven that it's not about how many pieces you have, but about how well you play them. You've shown them that you don't need luck, you don't need favor. All you need is the will to win, and you have that in abundance. The beauty of this moment is that it's yours to enjoy. It's yours to keep. They can never take it from you. They can never undo what's been done. They can never return to the game and regain control. The board is yours, and you've made it clear that no one, not a single soul, can move against you. So now, what do you do with your victory? How do you carry this weight? Do you let it define you, or do you use it to fuel your next move? Because here's the thing, now that you've taken over the board, you're just getting started. There's always more to conquer, always more to achieve. The game has no end, and you've only just begun to play. You've taken over the board. Now, no one can make a move against you. Enjoy the silence, enjoy the victory, and know this, you are unstoppable. The fire that burns within you, the relentless drive that propels you forward, is an energy that cannot be quelled. For too long, the world has lived under the delusion that success belongs to the lucky or the privileged. But you are a force of nature. You are proof that the rules of fate can be rewritten, that the game doesn't always go to the one who's most favored, but to the one who's willing to fight for it, clawing through the darkness until their victory is no longer a question. Your victory is inevitable because you've learned what it takes to dominate. and there's no force capable of stopping you now. As you stand tall, observing the world you've reshaped, the ones who doubted you, the ones who once looked at you with condescension, now they know the truth. They know that they were wrong, that their arrogance clouded their judgment. They mistook your silence for weakness, your patience for naivety. But while they were busy underestimating you, you were building, you were planning, you were executing the strategy of a mastermind. Now, they are nothing more than spectators in a game they no longer control. And the irony, the bittersweetness of their defeat, is the fact that they cannot undo their mistake. The board is yours, and that's a position you've earned, one that no one can take away. The beauty of your triumph is that it didn't come from simply overpowering your enemies with brute force. No, your victory came from your ability to outthink them, to outmaneuver them at every step. It came from understanding the deepest layers of the game, from seeing the things they couldn't see, and from making moves they never thought you were capable of. They never realized that the greatest power lies in knowledge, in the quiet observation of their every flaw. And now, as you gaze upon their desperation, their attempts to regain what they once had, you understand just how fragile their power was. They never saw you coming, and that was their greatest mistake. Your rise wasn't about being in the right place at the right time. It wasn't about luck or chance or fortune. It was about persistence, about a relentless drive that never wavered. You didn't wait for the stars to align. You aligned them yourself. You made the moves that others wouldn't have dared to make. You put everything on the line because you knew that without risk, without that all-or-nothing mentality, there could be no victory. Every step you took was calculated, every choice deliberate. You weren't just playing the game, you were remaking it. And the brilliance of your strategy is that you never needed their approval, their validation, or their permission. You did it all on your own, and that's what makes you unstoppable. But there's something deeper than the game itself, something beyond the board and the pieces, beyond the people who would attempt to bring you down. It's the understanding that true power lies not in what you've taken from others, but in what you've learned along the way. The journey has changed you. The battles have forged you into something unbreakable, something they can't even begin to comprehend. You are no longer the person they once knew, no longer the one who doubted their own worth or questioned their own strength. You've shed that skin, and in its place is something far more dangerous. You have become a force that cannot be controlled, a mind that cannot be outsmarted, a presence that cannot be ignored. Now, as you stand at the peak, looking down at the world you've conquered, you must understand that this victory is not just a destination. It is a stepping stone. It is the foundation of something greater. The game doesn't end when you take the throne. It only begins. There will always be new challenges, new obstacles, new rivals, and they will come, thinking they can take what is yours. But let them come. They will never see you as you truly are. They will never understand the depth of your resolve, the scope of your vision, or the strength of your will. They will come with their own plans, their own strategies, but they will be like children playing in the sandbox, and you will be the master of the game. And just like the ones before them, they will falter. They will crumble beneath the weight of their own ambition, while you continue to rise. Do you think they can stop you? Do you think that anyone, at this point, can stand in your way? They can try. They will try. They'll launch their attacks, their counter strategies, their undermining tactics, but it won't matter. You've already seen every move they can make. You've already anticipated their every response. They are still stuck in the past, holding on to old ideas, old ways of thinking. But you've evolved, you've adapted, you've become something they can't even fathom. And that's why they will always fail. That's why you will always win. The world has a way of crushing those who rise too quickly, who burn too bright. But you are not some fleeting flame. You are a force of nature, an unstoppable tide. And no matter how high the waves crash against you, no matter how many times you are pushed back, you will never stop. The struggle is part of your essence. It fuels you. It sharpens you. The harder they push, the harder you will push back. And when the dust settles, when the final pieces of the game fall into place, it will be you who stands victorious. It will be you who remains, because you are unstoppable, and no one, no matter how powerful, no matter how influential, can ever take that away from you. But let me tell you something important. As you stand at the top, as you observe the wreckage of your enemy's attempts to dethrone you, do not become complacent. Do not rest on your laurels, because the moment you do, the moment you allow yourself to become arrogant, to believe that the battle is over, that's when they will strike. That's when they will find their way back to the board and attempt to take what you've built. Never forget that victory is not a permanent state. It is something you must defend, something you must fight for with every ounce of your being. Do not allow the success to blind you to the reality that there is always someone watching, always someone waiting for you to drop your guard. So, yes, you are unstoppable, but with that power comes responsibility. You are the one who dictates the pace. You are the one who controls the board, and that means you must always be one step ahead, always thinking 3 moves ahead of anyone who dares challenge you. You've learned how to play the game. Now, you must continue to master it, to dominate it. Never allow the world to think it has the upper hand. You are the one who writes the rules. You are the one who decides the outcome. Now, take a moment. Revel in this victory. Take a deep breath and let it sink in. You've earned this, but know that the real test is ahead. The real challenge is to keep what you've taken, to build something even greater from the ashes of your conquest. Because once they've seen what you're capable of, they won't stop trying to bring you down. But every attempt will fail, because they will never understand you. They will never understand what makes you unstoppable. And when they come, and they will come, you will be waiting. You will be ready. Because you are the master of the game. You've taken over the board, and now no one can make a move without your permission. You are the architect of your own fate. You are unstoppable. In this moment, in the stillness of your victory, you must understand something profoundly important. The world is not filled with infinite opportunities for everyone to succeed. It's a brutal place, a place where the strong survive, where the weak are discarded, and where only those who dare to challenge the status quo and break through the barriers of fear and doubt can truly rise. The world is not kind, but you have learned to embrace that fact. You have thrived in that harsh reality, and in doing so, you have become more than just a player in the game. You have become the game itself. For too long, you have lived in the shadow of others, looking up at the throne they occupied, wondering what it would be like to have the power to decide the fate of everything around you. For too long, you played by their rules, followed their expectations, and stood at the edge, waiting for permission to act. But now, all of that is gone. The chains that once bound you have been shattered. The path that was once unclear is now laid out before you, and it's yours to tread. You are the one in control. You are the one who gets to determine how this game will unfold. When you look back, when you reflect on the journey you've traveled, you realize just how far you've come. There were times when it seemed impossible, when the odds were stacked so high against you that it felt as though you would never overcome the obstacles that stood in your path. But you did. You didn't just survive. You didn't just endure. You fought with everything you had, and you conquered each and every hurdle that dared to stand in your way. The world didn't hand you success, you seized it. You claimed it as your own, and in doing so, you've proven that there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stand in your way. As you look around, you see the remnants of the battle you fought, the people who once stood at the top, the ones who thought they had control, now find themselves in disarray, scrambling for answers, struggling to make sense of the situation. They thought they were invincible. They thought that their power, their resources, and their influence would always protect them. But now, they're helpless. Now, they're irrelevant. Their positions are nothing but fleeting memories, and you have become the one who calls the shots. They thought they could outsmart you, outmaneuver you, but in the end, it was you who outplayed them. You who took their power and made it your own. This is the harsh truth that they must now come to terms with. You've outgrown them. Their time has passed, and you've stepped into the vacuum they left behind. The game that they once controlled has been redefined, and now they are the ones on the outside, looking in. They are the ones who are scrambling for answers, trying to figure out how you managed to outwit them, but they won't be able to understand it because they don't possess the vision you do. They don't have the courage, the intelligence, or the resilience to make the moves you've made. They will keep playing by the old rules while you've rewritten the game entirely. You have seen things they didn't see. You have felt things they could never understand. You have fought battles they would never have the strength to fight. And that's why they will never beat you. That's why they can never take from you what you've earned. They are bound by their own limitations, their own blind spots. But you are limitless. You have embraced the grind, the struggle, the uncertainty, and turned it into something unstoppable. The moment you took over the board, you made a statement. You showed the world that there are no shortcuts, no handouts, no easy paths. The ones who make it are the ones who are willing to put in the work, to grind it out when everyone else is ready to quit. The ones who win are the ones who are willing to do what others won't, to sacrifice what others can't, and to take risks that others fear. And you have done all of that. You've paid the price. You've sacrificed. And now, the rewards are yours. The beauty of your victory is that it wasn't handed to you. It wasn't given to you by some stroke of luck or fate. It was earned. It was the result of years of hard work, of planning, of honing your skills, of watching, waiting, and learning. You took your time, and when the moment arrived, you struck. You took everything that was once out of your reach and turned it into your domain. And now, those who once held power are left in your wake, wondering how they could have missed it, how they could have failed to see you coming. But they're not the only ones who underestimated you. There were others too. People who doubted you. People who questioned your resolve, your potential. They told you that you would never make it, that you weren't strong enough, smart enough, or capable enough. They tried to hold you back, to keep you in your place, to keep you from reaching the heights you knew you were meant for. But they were wrong. They didn't understand you. They didn't understand your drive, your hunger, your vision. They couldn't see what you saw, and because of that, they couldn't stop you. They couldn't see what you saw, and because of that, they couldn't stop you. They couldn't predict what you would do next, and that's what doomed them. And now, as you stand at the top, you must remember that this victory is not the end. It's only the beginning. You have climbed to the top, but the view from the top is only temporary. There will always be others who seek to dethrone you, others who will try to challenge your authority, your control. They will come, and when they do, you must be ready. You must be prepared to defend what you've earned. You must be prepared to keep fighting, to keep moving forward, because the fight is never over. The key to being unstoppable is not just in achieving success, it's in maintaining it, growing it, and expanding it. It's in continuing to evolve, to adapt, and to outsmart those who try to play the game by the old rules. You've already shown the world that you can rise to the top, but now you must show them that you can stay there. You must prove to them that your power, your control, your influence is not just a passing phase. It is your destiny. It is your rightful place. So, what will you do next? Will you rest on your laurels and bask in the glory of your victory? Or will you continue to push, to strive for even greater heights? Because the moment you stop moving forward, the moment you let your guard down, is the moment someone else will try to take your place. Don't give them that opportunity. Never stop fighting. Never stop learning. Never stop growing. The world is yours to shape, to mold, to conquer. But only if you remain relentless. Only if you continue to push beyond your limits, beyond the boundaries that others set for you. Because ultimately, you are unstoppable. And nothing, no one, will ever take that from you. In the end, remember this. You have proven that nothing can stand in your way. Your determination, your strategy, and your unwavering drive have brought you to a place where the world's limits no longer apply to you. You've rewritten the rules, and now you hold the power. The challenges will come, the battles will continue, but you will remain unstoppable. Keep moving forward, for the journey you've begun is one of infinite potential, and no one can ever take what you've earned. The world is yours. Take it and shape it as you see fit.